let's just start. Get into it. It's March 26, 2019, 10:51 a.m. Wednesday. I just wanted to make a little video, and now that I'm going live, I have this added pressure of saying something incorrect. Now that people can potentially watch this, but you know what? I don't care. I really don't care. So, I wanted to make this video was to bring up a simple um, notion or thing I realized, and that is the feeling of not getting the feeling you thought you were going to get. What the heck does that mean? The feeling that you're not getting the feeling that you thought you were going to get. Well, what that means is basically, you ever set out to do something, and something that's very important to you, and you finally get to doing it. I don't know, maybe it might be cleaning your room, or washing your car, or changing your oil, or rotating your tires. I don't know, or maybe cutting your lawn, mowing your lawn. I don't know what it is. Exercising. And you do what you set out to do finally, and um, you don't feel as though you thought you were going to feel. Meaning, before you did what you were, going to do, well, what you did already, before you did it, you believed that if you did this thing, that you were going to feel some type of way, positive way, good way, whatever. And after you did that thing, whatever it was, maybe let's just say clean your room. After you get your room cleaned, it feels good. I'm not going to say that it doesn't feel good, but it didn't feel as you conjure it up in your mind before you did what you thought what you set out to do. It didn't feel the same way. In your mind, you believed that it was going to feel you was going to feel a different way. And this has happened to me on numerous occasions. I have set out to do something that I believed that I was going to feel a certain way, and after doing it, it felt good, but it did not feel as I thought I was going to feel. And what I noticed is, I used to do a lot of weightlifting, a lot of working out, powerlifting. What I noticed is that's very similar to weightlifting or powerlifting. That, like, when you start working out, you start to get gains. You start to your biceps get bigger, your chest gets bigger, your abs look better, whatever, your back looks wider, but you don't really feel it. You know what I mean? You might feel it a little bit, but you don't really notice it or feel it. Now, who notices it and feels it, or whatever notices it? Other people. That's who notices it. So there's something similar about you not noticing the gains that you're getting while working out, and you not noticing the gains that you're getting while being productive or doing what you set out to do. It's like this common denominator of getting the feeling of not feeling what you thought you should feel like when you set out to do something. I'm sorry, I did not script this video. This is just off the rip. You know what I mean? Just something I've been thinking about. So, this may not be the most professional video, but the point is, you get the feeling that you didn't get the feeling that you wanted to get, or that you thought you were going to get after you do what you set out to do. And that's very important. You know, I think that's something that nobody talks about. It's like we never bring that up. You know, we might talk about it, you know, when it comes to exercise, like, oh, I'm working out, I'm just not seeing any results. You know, I don't see results. Results are there, surely. They are surely there, but they are just invisible to your uh, conscious understanding of getting results. They are invisible, you know, but they're definitely there. They're not completely invisible, they're just invisible to you. You know? I don't know what that was. They're not completely invisible, your results. They're just invisible to you, or they may not, they be very they're like camouflage to you. So you don't see it. And it could be discouraging when you set out to do something and you don't feel like you got the gains that you thought you would get when you set out to do it. It's kind of discouraging. So I think that is very important to identify, because that can literally be the make it or break it for you. You know, you're doing these things that you set out to do, and you think that you're going to feel a certain way after you do them. But the truth is, when you finally do what you set out to do, you realize, you're like, wait a second, man, wasn't I supposed to feel like this when I got it done? I don't feel like that. I don't notice this gain. I mean, I feel a little bit good, just a little bit. It's like it's like the same feeling as if I did one small, you know, I did one workout. I'm not gonna be Incredible Hulk after one workout. Not, you know, where's like, this is it. I thought I was gonna feel a different way. So it's the feeling of not getting what you thought you should feel like after you do what you set yourself out to do. It's kind of like difficult for me to word, but that's the best way that I can word it. You know, you know, that's the best way I can word it. I can't word it a better way. But yeah. So, and another thing I learned too, which was very crucial for me. Well, let me just say that later, because then I'm kind of skipping over something. I'm skipping over something. I'll say that if I remember at the end of this video. If I remember, we'll see what happens. But my advice would be, just realize that that you may not feel as you thought you were going to feel after you do something that you set out to do. You may not feel, and just be ready for it, man. Be like, okay, you know, I know you're coming, that feeling, you know, I'm gonna do something I was supposed to do, and now you're sitting here not showing me the gain or whatever. I'm not feeling the gain, but you know, I know that you're gonna come, because I've been there so many times. I know you're gonna come, you know, and I guess that's its old way and old habits, that automatic negative thought. I call those ants. Automatic negative thought. It's fighting for its life. You know, your old way, your old negative way is like, it's fighting for its survival. And you can't blame it. You know what I'm saying? Everything, we're here on this earth to survive. Unfortunately, even the negative thoughts you have in your head, the ants that you have in your head, the automatic negative thoughts, they are fighting for their life just like you are fighting for your life to survive. So you cannot blame the ants. You can't blame them. You know, survival. And that's simply what they're trying to do. They're trying to survive, but they're evil. You want to get rid of them. The ants. They are no good. They are no good. Um, they are no good. But another thing is identify that too. When you do what you set out to do and that ant comes, you're just like, you know, just ignore him. Well, first identify him. That's say to yourself, this is an automatic negative thought or response fighting for its life. I see what you're doing, and I'm choosing to ignore you. Have a bad day. I wouldn't say have a good day. I wouldn't want your negative thoughts to have a good day. Have a bad day. Go be negative somewhere else. You ain't messing up, what I do. So, just be ready for that negative thought to come, that automatic negative thought fighting for its life. It's survival of the fittest, as they say. I don't like that phrase, but whatever. It's trying to survive. Another thing, I remembered what the second point I was trying to bring up, but I didn't want to skip the first point, was um, define things in your own way. Define things in your own way. Okay? I don't mean become the new dictionary. Uh-oh. Define, sorry. Am I going live? Okay, yeah. Define things in your own way. What I mean by that, I don't mean like, like I was saying earlier, don't write your own dictionary. But like, really say things how you see them. You know what I mean? Like, for an example, you might tell yourself like, hey, I need to be more organized. What does that even mean? You want to be more organized? Well, what does that mean? Does that mean you have a bunch of I don't know, you have markers and color pencils, and you want each color to be next to each other, or similar colors next to each other, or the same sequence as a rainbow. Does that mean that you want to have your closet, all your red shirts together, your blue shirts together, your polo shirts together, your t-shirts together, your sweaters, your sports jackets, or does that mean organizing, cleaning your room? Does that mean making your bed every morning? Does that mean getting your clothes ready for work the previous night or the previous week? Does that mean planning your day out the night before or the week before? Does that mean what does that mean, man? What do you say? I want to be more organized. You cannot say that. You have to say what you mean by that specifically. I want to be more organized. That's like, I don't know what that's like saying. That's just like, that's the most ridiculous thing, to say. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like saying something with no end, just open ended. It's like opening a door to the possibilities of a million doors and trillions of doors in front of you. It's like, which door are you trying to open, man? Like where are you going with this? Do you even know where you're going when you say you want to be organized? What path you're trying to go? So define that in your own way. Define organization in your own way. You might say, yes, I do want to get my clothes ready the night before I go to work the next day. I do want to prep my meals the night before I go to work next day, or the morning before I go to work. I want to my room. I want to organize my shoes and my clothes. So it's easy for me, or straight up my shoes and my clothes, set them in the order that it's easy for me to get ready. My paperwork. I want to set them in a way where certain similar paperwork stays with each other, and different non-related paperwork goes somewhere else in another folder. You know, organize your desktop on your computer. Maybe, um, anyway, what I'm trying to say is you have to define exactly what you mean. So the whole point of this is start defining things on your own, in your own words, in your own way. You know, you can use the language that you know. I'm not telling you to use a different language, but when a word like organized could mean many different things, you know what I'm saying? Define it in your way, And also, this is something silly. Um, I'm not even gonna say it. It's just stupid and silly. So I'm not even gonna say it. But find ways to define uh, things in your life with your own words. Don't just use anybody else's. That is plagiarism, by the way. That's why they consider it legal. But anyway, have a nice day, guys. How do I stop this thing? I think I'll push this